Welcome back. We're glad to have you back with us. And again, we have Blake Boles, and he's with us. He's the Outreach Director for Southern Nevada, Nevada Department of Veteran Services. And he has so much information. He's already provided some information for us. And I'm hoping you're taking notes on this, and so that you can pass it on to other veterans that you know, or family members of veterans that may need some of this information. Now, Blake has a lot of other programs that he's working on, and we're going to get into that and have him discuss other things that can help veterans in our community.
Well, we really run the gamut of services in the state of Nevada.
Okay.
We do have some recent developments and some programs that we've launched in the past year. One of the best programs, and one of the most heartwarming, I think, is called Veterans in Care, or our VIC program.
Okay.
What that is our director, Kat Miller, suspected that there were some veterans living in assisted living facilities or nursing homes that were veterans that were unidentified and who weren't taking advantage of their benefits because they simply didn't know that they were eligible. This goes for family members and spouses as well.
Okay.
So what we did is we wrote a letter to every single registered living facility in the state of Nevada, over 400 of them. We were expecting to hear maybe about a few hundred veterans that have not been identified. We estimate, after hearing from about 100, that number is going to be over 3,000, possibly 4,000.
Okay.
So during these ceremonies, we go and honor the veterans with a certificate from our governor, Brian Sandoval, who is doing his best to make Nevada the most veteran and military-friendly state in the nation. That's one of his stated goals.
I think it's great.
And we honor veterans, their family members, their even allies, with a pin and a certificate, and we just thank them for their service. We bring along a veteran service officer if they have any questions about the benefits that they have earned. And it's one of the greatest things that I've been a part of, serving
that's
veterans.
Something I was totally unaware of that.
Mm-hmm.
I know Brandy goes to all these places, and she's involved in so much. And trying to get her, I guess, time off just to come here is difficult.
Well, there's a lot of veterans in need, and she's got a pretty full caseload.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why we're glad you're here today.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm not as pretty as Brandy, I'm sorry, but I'll do my best. So.
Oh, man. Brandy, everybody knows Brandy. Brandy is, well, whether it's an assisted living or nursing homes or any place else, everybody knows Brandy. She's always there. It's difficult because she's not in Pahrump 5-7 days a week.
No, and that's part of the problem. I don't know that we could ever have as many VSOs as we need, simply because the last statistics that I saw were there are 230,000 veterans in the state of Nevada. There are many more that are that don't identify as veterans because they feel that their time wasn't worth it or they didn't serve in combat. They are eligible for benefits as well.
Yes.
That's why the Nevada Veteran Advocate Program and our VetCorps programs are so crucial in funneling veterans in need to brilliant people and knowledgeable people like Brandy, who can look at a veteran's case and explain to them what they are eligible for, what they're not. But it's really just trying to get the word out there. Well, a lot of our outreach is really just communication, and the more we can communicate is crucial.
Well, that's another reason I wanted you on the show tonight, was because hopefully we have some veterans that are watching, or families of veterans who are watching, and now they know to get in touch with either you through the phone number that was listed on the screen, or they can get in touch with Brandy, or they can call the station and say, hey, how do I get in touch with these people? This is what I've heard, and I want more information.
Absolutely, and a wealth of information is actually on Nevada VetNet if you do have a computer connection. It's veterans.nv.gov. I encourage everyone who has an internet connection to go on there and just explore.
Why don't you give that one more time?
Certainly. It's veterans.nv.gov. And we have everything from benefits and services to our to a bulletin to calendar events all across the state. So please, I encourage you to go there.
You know, you mentioned one other thing too, and I was talking to a veteran last night, and there are so many veterans that say, well, I only served 4 years. I didn't go anywhere. I was stationed in California, so I don't deserve any of that. And we're saying, you have earned the benefits. You served your country. Your country is saying, in a nice way, look, you've earned this. We'd like to do this for you.
Absolutely, and it's not something that you're taking away from somebody else. It's something that you have earned, and that goes for family members. We all know that anybody who's been in a deployment, as you do, Dr. Tom, family members serve, spouses or
Absolutely.
Without a good spouse, I mean, they're really a bedrock of what we are able to do as veterans. And I think part of it too is the misnomer that veteran means combat veteran. It actually means have you served in the military, and that goes for no matter what job you did, no matter where you served. If you put on the uniform, you might be eligible for benefits, and I invite you to contact us and find out what they are.
Absolutely. They're there, they're available, and too many of us wait too long. It took me, I'm going to say many, many years before I even filed for anything, because I felt, as you just stated, I felt I was taking away from those that were downrange, that were in combat, that were whatever. Even though I served in Vietnam, I didn't consider, even though I received the Purple Heart, I didn't consider what some of the people in the Marines and the Army was doing. So I looked at that and I'm saying, well, I was Air Force, so I don't need to apply.
And that's part of the stigma we're trying to erase. It's not just the fact that, you know, people might not have gone to a combat theater or that they weren't in direct combat. You've still raised your hand and taken an oath.
Absolutely.
And there are benefits to that. And I can't encourage anyone listening to this program right now to, you know, I can't encourage you enough to find out what your benefits are, or at least start the ball rolling. And it's really up to you if you want to, you know, take advantage of those benefits. But you're not taking away from somebody else who is in need. Your service is valid no matter what you did.
Yes.
So please contact us and find out what you've earned.
We have service officers. When Brandy is busy, we also have organizations like DAV and VFW that have service officers. And they can get you started, and you can go from there. I also found, and I found it was very beneficial, I happened to be in Germany at the time, and I had applied, I guess, 2 or 3 years earlier, and things were moving very slowly. And I always tell veterans, don't give up. Even if the process is slow, stay with it. Eventually you'll see success there. And I'm in Germany, and all of a sudden I'm looking at my checking account, and all of a sudden there's money in there that I didn't know where it came from. Then I found out it came from the VA, and it was my back pay, because when I first started the application process, they paid me for all that time.
Fantastic.
So
That's
I was
really
very,
good.
I looked at that, and then I left Germany and came to Pahrump, and I ran into some outstanding service officers. I'm going to mention one name, and it's Reggie Knight, because everybody knows Reggie. And Reggie is a Marine. We won't take that away from him. But Reggie talked to me, and he said, you were in the Air Force, you did this, this, and this, and why not apply for this? And I didn't know that. And so he did that, and that increased the information that I was receiving from the VA. It's
crucial to have somebody who knows what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And by the way, we should mention that veteran service officers of reputable organizations will not charge for their services.
Right.
It should be free of charge. So if you have somebody essentially gouging you to try and process your VA claim, maybe you should talk with somebody else, because they should be free with the DAV, I think American Legion.
Yes.
They certainly are free with Nevada Department of Veteran Services, so just beware. There are people that are, unfortunately, there are still people out there that try to take advantage of veterans, and we're trying to weed them out, but they're always going to be there.
Yes, we also have some people that are charging to get your DD Form 214. They'll charge for anything if you don't know that it's available to you free of charge. And none of our service officers in Pahrump will charge you anything. They do it because it's veterans helping veterans.
And there is a sea of goodwill out there. There's a lot of people that still love and honor what veterans have done, and they want to help veterans. But again, I can't harp on this fact enough. I really believe that there's a stigma out there, especially with my generation. I was an Iraq War veteran with the U.S. Army. I know you hold it against me. I'm sorry about that. But a lot of times when we out-process now, we've had multiple deployments. We just want to get on with our lives, and not worry about that, because they think it's too much of a hassle.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's completely worth it, and you're setting yourself up for success later on. And that includes in every field. That includes employment. That includes education, assisted living, burials, financial assistance, homelessness. These are all things that many veterans are faced with. Therapy, mental health issues. But you don't, unless you investigate, you're not going to know what's out there. I think, there's a lot of us that care about veterans, but, if a veteran isolates himself, as in my war, a lot of veterans do that. They lock themselves away. Nobody's going to come knocking on your door and say, we've been looking all over for you. So I invite you to take the first step and contact us through the information provided in this program, and let's get going and see what you're eligible for. You've earned it.
Blake, I really want to say I really thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I know our audience really appreciates it, and I know what you said about the Army, and everybody knows how I feel about the different services. We're all on the same team. National defense for this country is what we're all about. We may have different jobs that we do, but we're all on the same team to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that's what military is all about. And as Blake said, if you put on the uniform, you served your country, and you deserve the benefits that the country is willing to give you. So be sure to look into it. Don't turn your back on anything, and if it takes time, let it take the time. But there are people out there willing to help. And I thank Blake for being here. Thank you.